Before I start this, I need to make a few things clear. First off, I'm taking this as serious as possible. We usually joke around here, have a lot of fun on the channel, shit posting, whatever. But this is a serious situation, and I would take it as one. Second off, I am not doing this because I want to. From what I know, no one else is going to document, keep all of the information together, etc. And I don't want anyone, especially him, to forget any of this. And lastly, until the end of the video, I will stay neutral. My opinion does not matter in this situation. The victims' opinions and voices do. Before we start, I was going to use the wiki in order to get some information on who Josh fully was, but the wikis are fully empty and haven't been updated since December 2021 or 2022 or so. So I had to find the information myself. Josh, or more known as TheStoryPainter, was a Minecraft roleplay YouTuber, making stories off of already existing properties like Helltaker and FNAF, as well as original stories like The Painter's Office and Remnant. Along with his main channel, he also had TheStoryPainter Live, which had saved VODs from his streams and his voice actor play series, which involved him and his voice actor friends playing through different games, mostly visual novels and RPGs, and voice acting the characters within them. His most popular playthroughs being Omori, Undertaleyellow, and deltarune. With the main channel of 32.2 thousand subscribers, as well as the live channel with 10.2 thousand subscribers, Josh had made a big name for himself, gaining partnerships with Bicyc Hosting and Noctel Host, two Minecraft server renters, as well as Advanced.gg, an energy supplement company similar to GamerSupps or G Fuel. Said partnerships will come in later. This is most of the backstory you'll need to know on who Josh is. On September 29th, 2024, at 4 p.m., Lady Oro, a previous friend of Josh's, had posted on Twitter talking about her mental health as she had been dealing with some stuff some time ago. She had become the friend that had always helped everyone whenever they needed it, and talking about how it caused her mental health to worsen. This comes up later. She then brings up the fact that since the 18th she went radio silent and only 2 people had reached out to see if she was okay. That will also come up later. She then tells everyone she's taking time to prioritize herself, telling everyone she was okay now, and telling everyone, please remember, kindness isn't a bottomless well. Check up on your friends. At 11:09 on December 1st, 2024, Spooky Chai, or Toby, Josh's partner at the time, then posted that they were leaving the internet. They had thanked everyone for the time they spent, then had promptly left. December 2nd, 2024, at 7:38 p.m., a day after Toby left the internet, OK Avery, we'll call her Avery for short, posted the first Google Doc talking about Josh. The main points Avery makes within the doc are that Josh exploits those who idolize him financially and emotionally to suit his needs, doesn't actually support LGBTQ+, any sexualities, self-expression, or women, along with not paying his artists, not calling Toby by their actual pronouns, they're gender fluid, along with a lot of other shit. Again, I'm not here to tell everything, I'm here to keep track and document all of this. Please read the docs in the description to get the full story. There's a lot more in these docs that I don't mention, so please go read it. Avery ends the doc by telling everyone she is leaving the internet and to not miss her. Then at 9:08 on the same day, Charade _ or Seth, had then posted a doc, adding his experiences with Josh. In this doc, he brings up the belittling of himself as well as the disrespect of everyone in the Painter's alcove, backing up Avery's statements. Seth then releases a doc at 9:33 from someone else who wants to stay anonymous. The person starts the doc by telling us that they had met Josh in Residence SMP, his second lore SMP from my knowledge. They then say that they had constantly went out of their way to impress him due to thinking he was cool. The problems then arise when Anon's character within Resonance was pushed aside within the lore, even when they had tried to include plot points that also had Josh's character, which were then quickly forgot about by Josh himself. They had then been invited into Josh's friend server, we're going to call it friend server because it comes up quite a bit and I need a name for it, by someone else, not Josh. Here they learn that Josh's friend group is a hierarchy, and despite being at the bottom of the totem pole, they decided to stay within the community due to the friends they had made. They then bring up the pressure they felt within the painter's alcove, struggling to get in the alcove in the first place, not getting paid for their artwork, apologizing for needing mental health breaks, and much more. Then, at 10:52, Seth then releases another doc from another anonymous source. In this doc, Anon2 talks about Josh ignoring important things in terms of projects they were a part of, as well as being ignored and shut down. They then bring up the hierarchy, talking about the favoritism and how it's gone on for way too long. They end off the doc with talking about Josh not admitting he's wrong or being sorry when he knows he is. There are two other Anon docs that also exist that I cannot abridge for you. You need to read these. All of them. Josh had then released his own doc against the allegations, which was then deleted. Luckily, Strike TV, which we'll talk about later, but they are the fucking goat, saved the doc. He basically denies most of the allegations, says he's leaving the internet for a while. Again, the doc is in the description if you need it. Then went live on Twitch. Sadly, he deleted the VOD, so I won't be able to link it, nor bring it up in further context. I want to use all the things that I can confirm exist. I was there during the live, but do not remember much. And again, my words or my recollections do not matter here. At 11:45, Arcade Flora then quote tweeted Avery's post, telling her story and thanking Avery for making the doc. Arcade then goes on to say that they were a previous builder for his earlier projects and had left. They talk about how they could never believe in their building abilities, going into episodes believing that they were nothing but a builder. They end their piece by saying this has finally given them the ability to let go. Then at 12:17, on December 3rd, 2024, Mustard Bucket, a previous friend of Josh's, then responds to the original doc made by Josh. You can read it all here, you can pause to read, but I cannot cover it here because we're here to focus on the main issue. At 1:14, December 3rd, 2024, Flora Kira then responds and debunks the claims that Josh had made within his doc, saying that Toby had no problem with Josh misgendering her. Flora then posts screenshots of her and Toby talking about said misgendering on Discord. The message's dates range from December 3rd of 2022 to February 7th, 2023. Because these are not inside of a doc, I will be linking the Twitter post inside of the description below. Please go look at it. Please. At 1:38, Strike TV confirms that Josh was cut from the Nocturne Host Partner Program, the main thing he had used for most of his servers. And then at 1:15 p.m., Josh had finally dropped another response, which was then followed by another live stream. This response has been dunked on a lot by everyone, and again, my opinion is saved best for last, but if TLDR, because reading this doc sucked ass, he apologized to Seth, Toby, and Avery, as well as the Anons. He then says he's leaving the internet. Again. On December 5th, 2024, at 12:13 p.m., Astrid then makes a doc about their point of view on the situation. This is important, because then, at 1:11 p.m., December 5th, 2024, Jay Jaker had quote tweeted Ashford's tweet, saying that he reflected for a few days and had realized he was overworked, spending countless days, weeks, and months to finish projects, sitting at his computer after coming home from school until close to 1 a.m. to work on said projects. He then says he was always kept in this illusion that everyone was happy, and that Ashford's doc had finally said how everyone felt. At 2:47 p.m., the official Silly Street Twitter account had posted, telling everyone that they were removing everything related to Josh, as well as telling everyone to support the artists, builders, writers, and victims, the people who deserve support. While going through all the tweets and evidence, one person I saw caught my eye. This person was previously a part of Josh's community before being suddenly ousted, now celebrating the downfall of Josh and smoking the ashes. This is Splat Guy 22. Splat was a notorious bannovator who Josh absolutely despised. According to him, he had gone through 24 Discord accounts just to piss him off. So, he would probably know about some stuff about Josh. And luckily, I got an interview with the guy. So, how and when did you first find Josh?
About when he did his UTY stuff, be bad boy and ever since.
From what I understand, he kicked you out of his community, be rather Discord or something else entirely. Do you know exactly why he did that?
I made a comment about Dobby and Josh's relationship, saying that they were lovely together and whether they would agree. Good fucking luck with that now, Josh. No.
And he just kicked you after that?
And me, and the rest is the story.
How did you find out about the dogs Avery and Seth made after being banned from the community? Did you keep up with any other VAs within his works, or did you just come across it one day?
I came across it. I was just on my 21st note when I checked it and found it.
I saw that you had quote tweeted the post Aura made about her mental health that was tied to what Josh was doing before he was exposed by Avery and Seth. Did you also see that Toby had left the internet a day before the doc came out? And if so, how did you find both the Aura post as well as Toby's?
I was looking around Josh's Twitter and I found Aura's post. Toby was in the media channel, and I did not know she went to the coffin of the Unwilling Creator and vanished off the internet.
And finally, when you had DM Steel and MLPM, did you also DM anyone else about it? And if so, did anyone actually respond to said DMs?
I never DM Steel, and MLPM was the one behind the stuff. So I DM'd him and did an interview. If you were watching this, MLPM, please unban me now.
Thanks for coming out all the way here tonight, Spy Guy. I just want to know if you got anything else to say to Josh before we end out here. Before I go to December 12th.
Josh was cool. I thought he was a little voice actor who knew how to manage a team. But now that I know that he's an ableist as fuck him. I myself am newer divergent. I mean, I'm a Splatoon player, that's kind of a given. So learning about the horrid, disgusting things he said, I had the biggest fucking smile on my face. Who's the asshole now? So Josh, if you are watching this, good riddance you as fuck. Steel should take over StoryPainter duties, and mods, you are welcome for giving you entertainment. And on everyone, and stay fresh off the hook.
This is the last thing I want to cover before I give my thoughts and words on everything. If you remember, I told you to keep Arwa's mental health post in the back of your mind. This is getting its own piece in the matter because this doc hurt the most to read. If there's one doc that you read from this, and only one, I need you to read this one. This doc was also explained on stream by Aura herself. The link is down below. In this doc, Aura starts it off by giving some background on her, which is why I didn't do it earlier. Aura was chronically ill and disabled, and had been taking IV treatment as she wrote this doc. She had recently been making progress in physical therapy, which she mentioned during the stream, talking about the doc, that she had told Josh she was actively making progress, to which she said Josh didn't care and still kept making cripple jokes towards her. She continues by telling us that while we had found out on December 2nd, Aura had found out a month before Avery's doc had dropped. On September 14th, Aura and someone her world had revolved around, whether it's a partner or a best friend I don't know, had been in a disagreement that could have been solved with a simple conversation. Then Josh was brought into the situation by the person, as Josh was Aura's friend at the time, and the other person wanted to seek advice from a third party. Josh then turned it around on Aura, saying she was a bad person and that she deserved it. Aura originally thought that Josh was right and that she was wrong in the situation, but after talking to her psychiatrist and therapist, who constantly called her on her bullshit, she had realized that she wasn't wrong at all. Josh then went to involve himself deeper within the conflict, becoming the moderator and telling Aura that the person didn't want to talk to her anymore unless it was through him. Aura was confused, as Josh and the person weren't even close in the slightest. Yet she didn't question it, willing to do anything for the person even if Josh had to moderate everything. Then, within the group call, the situation was turned from a mild disagreement to the person telling Aura, "I never want to speak to you again." Aura agreed to respect their wishes. Then the mental health post was made. When she mentioned that barely anyone checked up on her, she was speaking about Josh and his, as well as Aura's, friends, who had been manipulated by Josh without naming anyone. When Josh saw the tweet, He had went to everyone saying Aura was a bitch due to her blaming him on Maine, even though Josh's nor anyone's name was mentioned within the post. He then asked Aura to talk the moment after he saw the post. Within this conversation, Aura had told Josh that it had hurt and that she wanted to take a bottle of pills. Josh was the only one who had known at the time. He insisted he never knew, not knowing she was upset, just thinking she was ignoring him as he never saw any of her messages. He then spins the conversation around, calling her a bad friend for ignoring him, even though she hadn't, and not reaching out to help him with what? I don't fucking know. He had also gotten angry at her for leaving a Discord for a project that had nothing to do with her, making him think they weren't friends anymore. Oro says the call had been 30 minutes of gaslighting and beration, walking into it expecting an apology and instead begging for forgiveness. At the same time, her mutual friends also stopped responding to her messages due to Josh's manipulation. Eventually, Oro had gave up and went back to being Josh's therapist friend, trying to make up for how sad she made Josh feel. On the 21st of October, Toby, Avery, Mustard, and Crystal Cat, someone I hadn't mentioned yet, had brought Oro a call where she was made aware of Josh's manipulation of his friends as well as her. He had told all of Oro's friends not to reach out to her as she was on break. Later on, the group of Toby, Mustard, Cat, Avery, and Oro had made a server where they had prepared for December 2nd. On December 1st, Josh had asked Oro if they could talk. Oro was on a Thanksgiving trip with her family, so she said no, ready to confront him after the trip ended as it was her last day. There was a recording attached to the doc, though I can't access it. The docs were then dropped, showing everyone that Oro wasn't the monster Josh made her out to be. He was then in a VC crying to two people, telling them Oro would be yelling at him for an hour. Again, I left out slight details that aren't part of the full story, so you can read the docs. Please go read all of them. I feel horrible. I feel horrible for what happened to these people, all the while I was watching and supporting the same person causing it all, unaware of what really happened. I feel horrible for wanting to be like him, the version of him I saw on screen, writing stories and characters I enjoyed. But I also feel like somebody has to keep all of this documented. When he eventually comes back to the internet, I want this video to be on every new fan's feed, to see how he really is. To everyone that had been affected by Josh, you deserve better. From Seth to Oro to Toby, you all needed better from him. To his fans, mods, and people I had funny times with within that community, I'm sorry this is the way shit ends. I wish you all find better people to watch and enjoy. And to you, dear viewer, thank you for making it this far. This video takes off nowhere without you. Please spread this anywhere you can. Josh wasn't a huge creator, so I couldn't get anyone like Omni or Critical to cover this, so please help me get this decently big. This video needs to exist. And to Josh, all you had to do was be a good person. Don't come back. Don't try another shitty doc. Don't try to become better. They know you won't. I'm sorry I didn't react as quickly as my peers. For over a year, Josh has taken up a good portion of my life, and I consider him one of my best friends, as well as the main reason I faced any success during my time knowing him. As much as it hurts to say, I owe a lot, if not everything, to him. A lot of the people in this situation will say the story painter didn't define them, but I cannot share the same mindset. Still, that doesn't make what he did okay, and I hope what I'm writing doesn't seem in poor taste. I do not support him or his actions, and as someone who was blindly a part of this hierarchy, I'm sorry I didn't notice this time sooner. I didn't know he was hurting you, and I'm sorry. I didn't know any of you were dealing with this, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry I hung on to his every word, and that I believed everything he told me. I'm sorry. Everyone's so brave for coming out about this. I'm so unbelievably proud of you all. If you're reading this, Josh, please go get help, or leave the internet. That's all I can say to you. By the time it's uploaded, I have already left everything Josh created and sent to my farewell. I don't feel right taking part in this project, knowing what I know now, but that much is obvious. Please let me know if you're still following him anywhere. From what I know, I've removed him from all social medias just to be sure. I won't deny that my disappointment is inevitable. I've lost a lot of friends over the years, and this one seems to sting the most. Despite that, I know this feeling will pass. I just hope none of you view me in aversion. I care so much about so many of you. I'm sorry. Hello everyone. I know it's been a bit since you've all heard from me, but that was because I've been spending my time processing and thinking about things for the past 2 to 3 weeks. I wanted to figure my thoughts out before saying anything, as I didn't want to make this post too emotionally charged, more for my own sake. Just to rip the band-aid off, I have cut ties with TheStoryPainter. I will no longer be voicing any of his characters. I have left his projects and servers, and by the time you will see this, I will have sent my final message to him. Some of the things he has done are quite awful, so I'm doing what I told him I would do if something like this ever happened. Hold him accountable for it. Even still, this post is very hard to make. 5 years of knowing a person does that, I suppose, but I know in the end this is the right thing to do. Even if it fucking hurts me inside. I'm not gonna personally say much. I got personally don't spill my guts on Twitter. All I ask today is support those affected, and please don't ask me about this. I'm sorry if it seems selfish at all. I just want to move on from this and properly heal. I'm sorry if this post is messy and all over the place. It's the first time I've ever had to do something like this. TLDR, I have cut ties with this night. When everything dropped, I was just in pure denial. I had literally just woken up from a 2-hour nap, so imagine it's 9 p.m., you're tired as fuck, and then you find 2 documents dropped just 1 or 2 hours ago from people you know about someone you at the time thought was a chill guy and created a really cool community. That is fucking terrifying. In the back of my mind, I had faith that they could all be wrong somehow, maybe just mistaken, perhaps manipulated by someone else into thinking was a bad person, or maybe it's a simple miscommunication. But now knowing everything and seeing all sides, that is not even close to being the case.